head football coach of your Dallas Cowboys, coming around the bend from brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We'd like to welcome on head coach Mike McCarthy of your Dallas Cowboys. Morning, coach. How's the car wash going?
It's going well. How you doing, Rob? BDJ?
What's up, coach? How's it going,
I
man?
love the music. You guys are spinning them this morning, huh?
Hey, when you have an alarm like we do,
Yeah,
you
we
need a
have
little
to.
little bit of a little salt and
You
pepper on
need your.
stuff.
It's baseball playoffs, coach. You need your walk-up music.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, coach, here we sit on a Friday, and things are feeling pretty good. How's your life today? Is it any different than it was, say, 3 weeks ago, or does it really even matter?
No, so much about an NFL season is getting into your flow and routine, and obviously winning's a goal every week. But I think we're really just starting to accomplish that. Practice needs to look a certain way. The meetings have to be a certain way, and it just doesn't really just pick up and start that way every year, week one. So, I like the flow that we're into. We've had a good week of preparation so far. Obviously this is a game that we're extremely excited about. Playing the defending champion and so forth. So, but I really like the way the team's working.
Coach, talk about winning on the road. You're now at 5 wins in a row on the road. What's the difference in the preparation at home or versus on the road, and what does it take to be successful on the road as you guys have been winning 5 in a row now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is going back to flow and continuity and consistency in your prep, because you want to go into the game with a fresh mindset, and making sure the team's ready physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, and the beauty of being on the road, especially when you have to perform for the Dallas Cowboys, being at home is probably a little more stressful than I think than people realize, because everybody wants to see the Cowboys play. Everybody wants to come to AT&T Stadium. So there's a lot
Right.
going on in home games, where when you do go on the road, I mean, we're all together. The plane rides are awesome. The camaraderie that
Mm.
we have as a football team, it's outstanding. I can't tell you how much I love the locker room, just on their connection and their competitiveness, and it's a very healthy environment. You're saying, well, yeah, coach, you won a couple games in a row, but this group has that. So when you do go on the road, the group dynamic of being together in a hotel, going out to dinner, on Saturday night is something that I've always, pushed and promoted for players to do. A lot of guys go by position, cross positions. I think the road really gives you the opportunity to connect and grow, from a dynamic perspective. And so, I know our players and coaches, we enjoy the challenge of going on the road. Now, then getting back late and all those other things and dealing with
Yeah.
that's
Right.
the challenge. I mean, that's the challenge you got to deal with for Monday. But road games can be very, very helpful to a team growing and connecting, in
You
my
talk
opinion.
about coach. You talk about hitting the road and the camaraderie and all that, and that, yeah, great. What about you? Do you have a place that you go to LA? Is there a restaurant you look forward to going to?
No, not really. I don't leave the hotel very often. I mean, it's an exception if I do leave the hotel. So, oh yeah, because I mean, there's you land, you have usually have media responsibility. You got a production meeting that you normally have to go to. Actually, we're doing ours today, so I won't have to do it tomorrow. But we have the Catholic mass, we have the chapel, and then we
Right.
have the team meeting. And so I just try to get as full as the spirit as I possibly can. So I go to mass and chapel for the team meeting, and then I've been doing this a long time, and then
Hey,
after the
coach,
team,
everybody
I'm about
finds
ready to
God in
go
a
to bed.
foxhole. My daddy always said you
Hey,
find God in a foxhole. I guess it's a 16 foxhole or 18 foxhole kind of year.
hey, I'm taking it all in. I'll just tell you that. I'm
We
Yeah,
trying to.
yeah.
appreciate you. Whatever brings you to God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idea of flow, consistency, continuity, that's something you stress, and I heard you say it over and over and over for years now. And as you get into week 4 and 5 of a season, do you feel like you have a kind of a training camp in season, like the flow and consistency? It really kind of sounds like, and it looks like that is really hitting full speed right about now. When you lay out your season and you look at turning up your thermostat on the defense and all of that kind of stuff, do you grade where you are and where you want to be? Are you heading to where a peak on offense, and while you've been hamstrung with injuries, are you heading there? Are you where you want to be? You know what I mean? After week 4.
No, we're not where we want to
Okay.
be, and I think that's
But
clearly
well, in your mind, I mean, how far away are you from that?
in my mind.
Well, 1,000 miles, obviously, in your mind. But I mean, you look at week 5, you're heading against the Super Bowl champs, you're going on the road. You've already taken down one of the guys that played the last game of the year. You get a possibility to sweep. You got the wins under your belt. But, in your mind, despite the injuries and your thermostat idea of the defense, are you where you thought you might be? Are you ahead or are you behind? Honestly.
Well, I'll say this. We have a lot of good things going
Yeah.
on as a football team, and it really comes down, frankly, and it starts with your play style. So we're playing the right way
Right.
as far as physical and mental approach. But fundamentally and technique-wise, and I think it's just a matter of today's NFL, no, we're not where we want to be.
Okay.
And the most important thing is we're focused on that. We know we can be better. So because at the end of the day, it's how we play that's going to determine the outcome of this game, and that's always been our approach. But we had a hell of a padded practice yesterday. I mean, it was. I mean, they went after it. So, and that's the only way I know how to do it, because not only are we training to win this game, but we're also training the younger players of our football team
Right.
too, because these guys need to continue to develop. Just going back to the offensive linemen in particular don't have as much padded work that they, in my opinion, need to even get ready for a season. So you need to continue to develop, and I'm talking about in the weight room, I'm talking about on the practice field. So, we got to continue to improve as a football team, because ultimately, the goal is to beat the Rams, no doubt about it, but you do want to be playing your best football in December. So,
Right.
and this is the only way I know how to get there.
So that's the idea. You're turning up the thermostat to where at peak performance you're there in December.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, ultimately, but I don't think there's we're talking about training, 60, almost 70 players. So it's trying to get everybody performing at a level that can contribute. And and if you stay with this approach, my history has been, we usually play our best football at the end of the year, and it's really getting the veterans and the younger players, on the same level. And then obviously the ultimate is you got to be healthy. So, I mean, health is such an important part of this journey through an NFL season.
Coach, I mean, it's the Cowboys, so if y'all sneeze, it makes news, and the biggest news and the biggest talk is the whole Cooper Rush situation. In your experience, you've been around the league a long time, and I'm always interested in the dynamic in the locker room. Like it's fascinating to me because I've never, been in one. How does a quarterback in a room full of grown men that you can't trick them? How does a quarterback win over a locker room to where they're like, okay, you know what, I'll run through the wall for that guy. I like him.
Well, the reality of it starts with performance, because this is a performance business, and let's not forget that. But we're playing the greatest game on earth, in
Right.
my opinion. So I think being in tune with that, but it definitely starts with performance, and then then there's the dynamic of the personal and growing, and in Cooper's case, I mean, Cooper's he's a great teammate. He's so consistent. The guys believe in him, and and the quarterback room is set up the right way. And so I think it's just more a reflection of the individuals, but also the connection that we have and how we operate.
Did you know you're 8-7 without Dak? How do you operate in chaos, Coach? I asked somebody that covers y'all that covers y'all daily, and I was like, what would you ask Coach McCarthy? And he said, he paused and he was like, ask him what goes on in his mind when chaos erupts. I mean, you're going all the way back to your Super Bowl, 17 guys on IR. As soon as you get here, Dak breaks his leg. It's like the guy you work alongside, Jerry Jones. How does Coach Mike McCarthy operate in chaos?
He just said he goes to church.
Yeah, church, mass and chapel. But no, I think I think I'm far enough down the road now. I fortunately and unfortunately I have a lot of experience in that area. So, but that's the game. I mean, so much of what a head coach does today, the administrative responsibility of the head coach position today is significantly different than it was in 2006 when I first became a head coach. So I just think learning to adapt with that, people skills and how you operate is a big part of being successful in this league. It's it's a part that I enjoy, and I really enjoy the people. I mean, I love the people of this organization, and we have a phenomenal locker room. I mean, these guys are. I mean, they're they really are a joy to coach, because we all want the same thing. So I think it's just staying in tune with that.
Do you like a certain amount of chaos?
Conflict is good.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I do. But I like healthy chaos. I don't like the BS, around the corner stuff.
Yeah.
I think, I like it, face to face, and so we can get to resolution because you have to be able to operate, compete, and be successful in that arena to win a championship.
Hey, Coach, looking forward to this weekend. You got a receiver like Cup who thrives in man coverage. I'm not asking about the plans and all that, but when you see a guy like Cup, how do you plan for it? Do you just plan for a certain amount of, well, there it went, and then kind of cover around it? Or do you try to take them out of what they do best?
Well, the biggest thing is, you obviously recognize them, but the ability to play to your coverage, play to your help, is always so important weekly. But it's definitely heightened when you have a player like Cooper because the ball is going there. I mean, just especially when the game's on the line, you can just watch the Monday night game against the 49ers. Just go back to the last drive in the Super Bowl. Go back to the last drive in the Tampa Bay playoff game. I mean, that's where the ball went. So that speaks to the connection that Matthew Stafford and Cooper have. So we're obviously aware of that. But we need to play our defense and play the adjustments and the focal points from a coverage element that we have investment in. We can't just start making up new things because you're playing a great player week in week out because that's our business, that's our game.
Right.
So we just got to take a step and continue to grow as a defense, and just like anything, the best pass coverage is a great pass rush, and so that'll be a big part of it for us.
Is Curse almost back? And if so, how does that change with Malik and Donovan, who've been playing excellent by my estimation?
Well, we feel so blessed and fortunate to have a three-headed monster there. I mean, with those guys, because they all can play at such a high level. So we have plenty of reps for all of them. It's a long year too, so I think they all recognize that. I mean, they obviously want to be on the field every snap, but no, this is is the this is the rotation and the way we want it and how we plan for it too. So it'd be great to have JK. I thought JK looked excellent yesterday, so looking for him to come in today and have another healthy day tomorrow. But he is definitely on course to play.
Hey, Coach, you get yourself an icy cold Big Red and a chorizo and egg taco yet?
Not yet. He waiting on he waiting to hang up on us.
No, I'm gonna go have those tacos with my coffee. Sorry, I just can't quite do the Big Red. I apologize.
Well, it's all good.
Players love it though.
It's not. It's a San Antonio thing, Coach. It's not a. I don't like it. It's like it tastes like bubblegum spit to me. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't really care.
Bubblegum and tacos. Yeah, that's what it's.
I don't really like it.
It kind of matches that hat they made you wear last week, Coach. What'd you think of that pink hat?
I like it.
I'm a pretty. I try to be a good teammate, and that's what they put in my locker.
Honestly, do you have any say about that? I mean, when they put that in there, that's what you got to put on, huh?
They give you options. Yeah, I'm not.
And you chose the pink hat?
Well, yeah, over the second option. Yeah.
There you have it. Hey, Coach, we appreciate you every week. Honest as always. It's always a pleasure. Stay healthy. We bid you a good weekend of games, and we'll talk to you next Friday, Coach.
All right. Thank you, man. Take care.
Head coach Mike McCarthy right here of your Dallas Cowboys.